I know
You know globalization or not?
What globalization?
You don't know
Don't know.
Okay, never mind. I think we watch
Watch.
watch. So what is globalization?
Globalization is defined as the worldwide movement towards economic, financial, trade, and communications integrations, where economies are interconnected and interdependent on each other for free capital transfer, goods and services across national frontiers.
This is Singapore. In the past, it would have taken us days just to travel from the east coast to the west coast of Singapore. However, in today's modernized world, we are able to travel from Singapore to US in just within a day. That's a big difference. In addition, with modern jet aircraft such as the Airbus A380, we are able to transport a huge number of people and cargo from one place to another in just one simple flight. This has contributed to the space shrinking effect. This is Singapore today. We have friends all around the world, from Hong Kong, Japan, to the United Kingdom, and even the United States of America. You name it, we have it. If you think that language barrier will be a big problem, absolutely not. Look at Apple. Every time you start up a new Mac, its welcome video welcomes you in a multitude of languages, including English, Danish, Dutch, traditional Chinese, French, German, Japanese, Italian, Swedish, Korean, Spanish, simplified Chinese, Finnish, Portuguese, and even Russian. We have already overcome this barrier with translators like Google Translate, where they are able to translate over 50 languages in the world today. Isn't that amazing? And so, how is this related to Singapore? Let us explain.
Let us see from a diagram to help us aid in the understanding of this very particular subject. In the center, we have a circle that represents the Singaporean economy. And then we have a speech bubble that shows the characteristics of this very special and unique economy. What is it? It is that it is a very open economy that is heavily dependent on trade, such as imports and exports from other countries, in order to build its base, in order to prosper from the process. As we can see right now, we have arrows leading towards the center of the circle. These are imports. Examples of such imports may include unrefined goods, raw materials, foreign investments, and lowly skilled workers. These are essential to help us value add our exports and to ensure that we prosper in the process and to ensure that our goods have an edge over the others from other countries. And now we have moved on to the other side of trade, which is exports. This is the very crucial element that leads to Singapore's survival right to today and in the future too. Such exports include refined petroleum products, such as those that you see on Jurong Island, high technology goods, premium financial banking services, of which is comparable to that offered by Hong Kong, and water fabrication technologies, which we are very proud of.
Singapore is a small country with no natural resources like oil, coal, land, etc. And we only have human resources in our hands. We rely heavily on entrepot trade and providing services to the British forces, which is Singapore's very first window into globalization overseas. The Singapore citizens at that time were mainly immigrants who were looking for job opportunities. Immigrants that are unskilled, uneducated, and are mostly involved in labor-intensive industries. So, in the 1960s, after gaining independence, The government created more jobs by introducing labor-intensive industries and then slowly into servicing sector in the 1980s, and thus providing a lot of job opportunities for these immigrants and hence make the Singapore economy more robust, which would then be elaborated later on. Amongst the earliest companies that made their foray into the Singaporean markets were McDonald's, American Insurance Association, Motorola, and the Hong Kong Shanghai Bank Corporation.
And this creates more money for us, which will be explained in the next segment. Alright, this is the Singapore economy, and we have used a diagram to represent the right economy in our time. In the center, we have a circle that depicts the Singapore economy. And to your southeast, we have seen foreign investors and overseas transnational firms which has set up factories in Singapore. These firms include Hewlett-Packard and Motorola. These firms pump in money right into our public funding system, and our government has now created budgets to help increase the standard of living of our people, which is essential in ensuring the happiness of our people and the quality of life enjoyed by citizens right here. But how do we improve our standard of living? Firstly, we can do that by improving the level of infrastructure in the country. Next, we can do that by increasing the level of technology, or rather improving it, such as the new water technology which was introduced in 2002, which has helped to change wastage into proper water usage. Lastly, we have increased confidence from foreign investors, which are ever critical in our bid to get more and more investors investing in our very own country. By doing so, we have created more jobs, jobs that have created more and more and more employment opportunities for our Singaporeans. But improving infrastructure and improving technology isn't the only key. Foreign companies which have set up factories in Singapore have similarly reached our target of improving job opportunities in Singapore. And with more jobs in Singapore, confidence amongst foreign investors have now increased. Doing so allows more people to relax their hearts and pump in more money into the system. With more money in our system, we have greater means to increase our budget, greater means to increase our standard of living, and ultimately, which leads to us improving in our own quality of life and for our future generations to come. This cycle continues on and is essential for our development of the very own Singapore spirit.
And with the cycle continuing on and on, this is what has created what Singapore is today. However, things have changed. We no longer produce goods that we did in the past. Due to increasing competition from emerging economies such as China and India, we are now unable to maintain our competitiveness if we continue producing those goods that we did in the past. Thus, we have moved on to more high technological stuff such as wafer fabrication and water desalination. In addition, we have moved on into the service sector too, where we promote Singapore as a tourist destination to the world. With services such as dark tours and casinos opening in Singapore such as the Marina Bay Sands, Singapore has managed to maintain her competitiveness in the global economy today.
We will now use a simple ADAS diagram to explain the effect of globalization in Singapore's internal economy, which has three main components. The first will be GPL, which stands for General Price Level, which is the average price for goods and services. Secondly, national income, which is the total amount of goods and services sold in a period of time. And lastly, employment, which is the number of people willing and able to work. Now, AD, which is aggregate demand, is made up of C, consumption on domestic goods, I, investments poured into Singapore's economy, G, government expenditure to improve infrastructure, X minus M, net exports from trading activities in Singapore. Before globalization, the AD is at AD1, general price level at P1, and national income at Y1. After globalization, I increases due to investments. G increases as government has more fiscal budget to spend. C increases as people has more jobs now and can afford to consume more. And X minus M increases as well, as we trade a lot more actively. Hence, AD1 shifts to AD2, and income also rises to Y2, and thus, general price level increases to P2.
And we know that with the creation of more jobs, employment has gone up. Thus, in the summary, all three factors, general price level, national income, and employment has gone up.
Now we will be talking about the external effects of globalization, which is made up of balance of payments. Referring to the diagram, balance of payment is made up of current balance and capital balance. The current balance is made up of balance of trade differences between imports and exports of goods. And the balance of service is made up of the trading of human resources. And capital balance is made up of short-term capital flows and long-term capital flows. And in this case, capital means investments.
And since we know that there is an increase in investments and an increase in trading partners and trading activity, this means that the balance of payments of Singapore has gone up over the years. In conclusion, Singapore has benefited greatly from the effects of globalization, with positive impacts seen on the Singapore economy since it opened up. With careful planning and observation of the world's demands, Singapore can continue to benefit from globalization and continue to prosper in her future years.